Brett Brown fired. A whole lot of Sixers fans, whole lot of people, all have been talking about that he should have been fired a long, long time ago. Do I agree with that? No, I don't agree with the fact that he should have been fired a long time ago. I think that he definitely deserved the shot to try and get this team to a championship after withstanding so many years of tanking and going through those horrid, horrid Sixers teams, and even getting like a bunch of G Leaguers up to 20 wins. Some of the rumored candidates and targets for the Sixers are Tyronn Lue, Jay Wright, their own assistant. Forgive me if I don't pronounce his name right, but Ime Udoka, former Kings coach Dave Yerger, Bucks assistant Darvin Ham, and Warriors assistant Mike Brown. Now, let me preface this by saying, since the Sixers got rid of Brett Brown, you should get rid of the entire front office and ownership. I'm dead up. You should get rid of the entire thing except, you really should get rid of some of the players too, but you should get rid of just blow it up from head to toe. Because the owners had good ideas coming into it, really being bold, hiring a guy like Sam Hinkie who has this bold idea, and they're really trying new and different things. And then the team gets to the exact point that Hinkie was trying to avoid this whole time with the process. The whole point of the process was to not get to this point in time where you give below star level players ginormous contracts so that your team is good enough to make the playoffs, but not good enough to win a championship and not bad enough to get a decent pick in the draft to help you win a championship. That was the whole point of all of this. But then you force out Sam Hinkie. Colangelo comes in. Made one or two okay moves, a lot of bad moves. Ultimately, the worst move in retrospect, the Markelle Fultz trade. Then you find out the guy has burner accounts. Fire him. Keep the whole rest of his staff and hire a former player to then become GM for the first time. Then they sign Horford and Tobias Harris to ginormous contracts. And here you are, making the playoffs, getting swept in the first round. The head coach is not the only issue with Philadelphia. I feel like that is very well known, and if it's not very well known, more people need to do their research. Honestly, I don't like really any of these candidates, to be honest with you. I do like Jay Wright. However, if I was Jay Wright, ain't no way in hell I'm leaving Villanova. I don't like the prospect of Lue because, honestly, when I think of Lue's time coaching the Cavs when they won the finals, other than maybe like playing one guy here and there for a matchup, I can't really tell you that many X's and O's or that many strategic things he really did. When I think of that team, I think of the stuff that LeBron did or that Kyrie did to win the game for them. Now, Udoka being the Sixers assistant, I know he's solid. However, giving a guy his first NBA head coaching experience is risky. Don't get me wrong, very risky. I just don't know really enough about him, even though he is already on the Sixers as an assistant. I don't know enough about him to say whether or not I like the idea of him coaching. Dave Yerger, I do kind of like that because, I mean, you have endorsements from other star players that have played for him, but also there are also negatives from other players that have played for him. So he's kind of wishy-washy. Darvin Ham also as the Bucks assistant. I mean, he's definitely been learning a lot underneath Budenholzer, and I mean the Bucks have been the number 1 seed in the East the past 2 seasons. And then there's the Warriors assistant Mike Brown. Not terrible, but also I feel like it's not great. I mean, you could look at someone like Kenny Atkinson, but I feel like Kenny Atkinson is I feel like he's an equivalent type of coach to Brett Brown in the fact that those are 2 guys you would love to have coaching your team during your rebuild seasons, but when it's time to win the championship, I just don't know if they're the guys you really want. I personally, on the top of my list, would put Becky Hammon. I think Becky Hammon, especially learning underneath Popovich. Now, a lot of people also said the same about Brett Brown when he first came over because he was on San Antonio as the head of player development. And, I mean, again, a lot of people can say the same about him. But from Becky Hammon's playing background, from the things that I have seen when she has coached in Summer League, when she has coached in I mean, they even had her, getting up and coaching during the scrimmages and some of the restart games in the bubble for Popovich. I think that all of it has been very positive. She's looked very good. She even won that Summer League championship, I believe. I would put her at the top of the list. I know San Antonio it seems like they're kind of grooming her to become their head coach once Popovich moves on. But if I'm the Sixers, why isn't she in the list? There's a lot of rumors about them making this extensive coaching search and doing all this to find the best fit coach. So for me, the top of my list would probably be something like, if I had to do a top 5, I'd probably say Becky Hammon, Wes Unseld Jr., then I would probably go Tyronn Lue. Then I would probably go the Sixers' current assistant, Udoka. And then for number 5, it's a little iffy there, but I don't like Jason Kidd. I just don't. But I don't know. I mean, number 5 in the top 5 is hard because a lot of these just don't look like great. Maybe I would put Dave Yerger there as number 5. But I just don't have the faith in the Sixers to find the right person for the job. Maybe that's due to experience